Hi, it's Brit from Always Buffering. So I got a lot of questions from a couple people, majorly one person, on a post I had made about asking about what it's like to be a Caribbean medical student. And I decided it would be better to than just my written responses to kind of discuss them a little bit. So when I first applied to my school that I go to right now, was, I believe, about 2.5, 3 years ago. I'm not sure how, it was a while ago. When I first applied here, things are a little different now. So I'm just going off of based what it was when I applied 3 years ago. So I got this question, do you need 4 years of college to go to medical school in the Caribbean, or do they have an 8-year curriculum? Is it cheaper than medical school in the US? So first question, no, you don't need 4 years of school to go to medical school in the Caribbean. My school only requires 90 completed credits to be able to register and become a enrolled student at my school. I don't know how long that takes some people. I had 90 credits in probably 2.5 years, 3 years maybe most. But I went to undergraduate for 5 years because I got an associate's and two bachelors with minors. So it took me a little longer in my undergraduate, and I didn't want to go to a master's degree. I was tired of school, even though I decided to go to more school. Really dumb, right? So the second part, is it cheaper than medical school in the US? Absolutely. I go to the cheapest medical school, accredited medical school in the Caribbean. Though the prices have gone up pretty significantly. So originally I only paid 6,650 a semester, but I now pay 8,150. And clinicals used to be 10,150 and are now 12,150. So very significant rise in tuition over the 16 months that I've been a student at this school. Um, but still significantly cheaper than a lot of American medical schools. But do everything, and I mean absolutely everything you can to get into American schools. It is not worth going to the Caribbean as a first attempt. Make the Caribbean your last ditch effort. It's really not worth going to here first. You hear Caribbean, you think exotic and cool, and I'm gonna have a great time. Wrong. Think about the fact that you're moving thousands of miles away from your family and your friends. You're going to a completely new and unknown environment. There's not a lot of access to food, transportation, or medical care of any kind here. Um, Transportation is a little more accessible, but only really during up to a certain point at night. They have things called vans here, where it's called dollar vans, where you hop onto a van a lot of the times jammed into it with 18 other people, and you pay them a couple EC depending on how long you go. So from where I live to the beach, it's 2 EC. So it's about a 35 minute walk, but a couple minutes to drive in this van. Or to go into the main town here, it's also 2 EC. But the further you go, the more they charge you. But I have the longest ride I've been is about 45 minutes driving, and it's like 5 EC. So public transportation is kind of cheap, but it only runs till I think 8 p.m., depending on the day, sometimes as late as 10 p.m. But that's, I think, on Fridays and Saturdays that it goes to like 10, 11 p.m. But most nights it's 8 p.m. And here, On Sundays, they don't really have much open and there's not a lot running because Sundays are rest days. And so most things are not open at all or close very, very early, like before 3 o'clock or even earlier. Most stuff closes by like noon. Um, do you have access to medicine? So if you are on meds, for example, ADHD meds, which is what this question is about, getting it is near impossible. You need to figure out a way to either bring as much medicine with you as possible or have a family member ship it to you. But the problem with that is everything being shipped here is taxed incredibly. So, like, however much you pay for the shipping, you're also going to pay on import tax. So, let's say you spent 135 EC to ship it. It's going to be also $135 for the import tax. So I've never shipped anything myself because I refuse to pay those ridiculous prices, but I know a lot of people who ship stuff and they just pay it. I'm a very poor individual. I could never. I mean, I'm really struggling right now with the increase in prices of everything. Like, food is so expensive. And it's so hard to get food here. Like they have constant shortages of things, like potatoes and eggs and chicken, and chicken's the cheapest thing. So it's really hard to have good nutrition too, as I don't remember the last time I had fruit besides a banana. Like they don't really have fruits here. They kind of have apples and they have bananas, but other than that, not really, or ones that are affordable. Like they occasionally have other stuff like dragon fruit, but it's incredibly expensive, or they have like cantaloupe or honeydew, but it's like in the States where it's like $4 for a melon. They sell everything by pound here, so it's like 9 EC a pound. So like a melon could be who knows how expensive. And it's definitely hard. Access to food is pretty difficult. If you're coming here to the Caribbean, bring anything and everything you can think of that's not perishable that you can put into a suitcase and put into the checked bag, because you're not going to have access to a lot of things you have in the States. Or it's going to be so expensive, it's not worth buying. So, any of your beauty products, hair products, certain snacks, facial cleanser, earring stuff, ear stuff, eye stuff, hair stuff, body stuff, bring it with you because you're either not going to find it here or it's going to be so expensive you can't afford it. Um, There's just, they don't have access to a lot of stuff here because they don't produce anything themselves. So everything's imported and super expensive.